In this video, we'll be maintaining the Walstad bowl and also the Walstad column. I set this bowl up around 7 months ago. It was my first attempt at a Walstad style. I used organic potting soil and Carib Sea cichlid sand as a medium to cap the dirt with. I had these materials kicking around from other projects. My main goal was to make this for as low a cost as possible. The bowl itself was merely $6 and it was on sale at a local craft store. The plants were clippings from my 45-gallon cube tank. Here I'm clipping Ludwiga repens and some mermaid weed. These plants are growing incredibly in this setup. I'm getting nice red hues due to being so close to a light source. The light time is about 12 hours daily on this setup. I feel you can get away with such a long light time due to the theory behind the Walstad method. In a nutshell, all the nutrients for the plants are in the capped dirt, so there's an absence of nutrients in the water, thus keeping algae growth to a minimum. The dwarf hairgrass was only maybe 4 to 5 blades I rescued from my 45-gallon cube, as it was not growing well in that particular setup. I attribute the plant's success to two things: the high light and, of course, the soil. Using a siphon, I drain out most of the water. I only perform this process maybe every 2 months. It's done to help keep any organics out of the water column. I use the amount of protein visible on the surface as a sign of when to change the water. Excess protein on the surface is inevitable with the absence of surface agitation from a filter or air stone. You can see how hard my water source is by the mineral deposits at the top of the rim. Using a paper towel, I'm able to wipe the minerals and small amounts of algae off with ease. This can also be performed while it is full of water, but for demonstration purposes, we're going to do it while the water's out. Here are all the clippings we took out of the Walstad. Got some mermaid weed and 2 types of Ludwiga. These short guys we'll use to replant in the Walstad. Some of these longer guys we'll put into the column. Really beautiful plants. Now, I've seen other aquarists claim that replanting in a dirted setup is not possible. This is because you can potentially leach soil back into the water, causing excessive nutrients to form. But I feel if you plant correctly, it is quite possible. And as you can see, I have no issue doing so. If you're truly worried about it, refill your aquarium and then perform a second water change. Using my handy strainer, you may recognize from my other videos, I refill the bowl. The total volume of this bowl is exactly 3 gallons from when I initially set it up. And when I perform a water change, I'm replacing about 2 of those gallons. Here's a piece of Amano shrimp molt you can see floating around that I'll remove. The shrimp had been recently moved into a different aquarium due to the lack of algae for it to feed on in the bowl. You know what? Let's trim those down a little bit more. Alright, well, we'll let everything settle down in the bowl, and let's move on to the column. Alright, so here we are at the Walstad column. Yeah, it's a little on the gnarly side. Moss is overgrown. Would like to add a few more stem plants in the back. The substrate is, we got some diatom and a little bit of cyno going on, believe it or not. Haven't had that in here before, but yeah, weirder things have happened, so we're going to address all that. One of the nearite snails died, so I don't know if maybe he released a little bit of ammonia before I caught him, and perhaps that's our culprit for the cyno. So let's get to it and take care of him. He obviously don't care, but I care. We'll start by using my flipper glass scrubber to clean mineral deposits and biofilm off. I need to get a smaller one for this aquarium. I initially purchased this one for my large 125-gallon tank with very thick glass. The glass on this aquarium is far too thin, but it does give you a good arm workout in the meantime. Now to trim the Java moss. Keeping it nice and tidy helps the moss closest to the branches receive enough light and healthy. I can then use the trimmings to propagate in another setup. Inevitably, I won't be able to gather all the clippings, but that's alright. They will grow throughout the aquarium, giving a nice natural look. A major disadvantage to a tall tank is working in it. I have the filter turned down to help aid in this process though. So now let's suck out some water and replant the Walstad. So we're a little cloudy, to be expected, but we got most of the substrate fairly clean. I can go in and spot clean it another time, but we got that cyno out of there, and hopefully it stays out. I'm gonna have to grab some ladder snails from my other tanks to start picking away some of this diatom algae I'm getting in here. But hopefully doing a 50% water change will take care of most of that. Some new plants in there. Java fern all cleaned up, or Java moss, excuse me. And betta's just fine. It's actually probably dinner time for him, so let's feed him. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Dirted aquariums are cheap and very rewarding way of doing an aquarium. They're great for both the experienced and the inexperienced. They can make a great teaching aid on how nature works. Nature can be a very beautiful and destructive force as we're seeing it unwind before our eyes these days. Just try to stay positive and see the silver lining in all things. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to hit like, follow, and subscribe.